the jury can hear you, and speak into that microphone if you would.
Okay.
All right. Ms. Sprague.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon. Can you please state and spell your name for the record?
My name is Dr. Barbara Olson, B-A-R-B-A-R-A-O-L-S-O-N. I previously practiced under my maiden name, Barbara Vidal, V-I-D-A-L.
Can you describe for us your educational background, please?
I completed my undergraduate studies at the University of New Mexico. I also completed 4 years of medical school at the University of New Mexico School of Medicine. Afterwards, I came to Boston to study the field of pathology at Beth Israel Deaconess Medical Center. I completed a 4-year residency program there, studying both anatomical pathology and clinical pathology. And after my residency, I did a surgical pathology fellowship studying the gastrointestinal tract, liver, and pancreas, and I ended my training doing a fellowship of forensic pathology at the Boston office of the Chief Medical Examiner. I am board certified in anatomical pathology, clinical pathology, and forensic pathology.
And what is forensic pathology?
It is essentially the study of causes that are diseases, disorders, or trauma that results in sudden, unexpected, or non-natural deaths.
And do you currently work at the Office of the Chief Medical Examiner?
Yes, I'm a medical examiner at the Cape Cod office of the Chief Medical Examiner.
How long have you worked there?
Since 2021.
And approximately how many autopsies have you performed?
I have examined over 1,900 bodies and performed over 800 autopsies.
And when performing an autopsy, is there a specific process or procedure that you follow?
Yes, so an autopsy is composed of many parts, the first part being documentation review and the second part being the examination of the body, which is broken up into 2 parts. The first part being the external examination, where I look for identifying characteristics of a decedent, such as eye color or hair color. I also look for any evidence of natural disease or trauma on the outside of the body. And the second part is the internal examination, where I create a Y-like incision on the chest and abdomen and examine the soft tissues, bones, and organs, looking for any evidence of natural disease and trauma. I also examine the brain.
And did you perform an autopsy on Cora Clancy on January 25th, 2023?
Yes.
And did you follow that same process with Cora Clancy?
Yes.
And so that started with a document review, is that correct?
Yes.
And what type of documents are you reviewing when you do that?
Typically, I have a preliminary police report to review, as well as either EMS records or records from the emergency department.
And did you start with an external examination of Cora?
Yes.
And what did you observe during that external examination?
The external examination of Cora, I saw evidence of medical intervention. She was intubated, had various EKG pads and defibrillator pads on her body. She also had a catheter on her right hand and puncture sites on her left hand and her left groin. She had her neck stabilized with a cervical collar, and she had an intraosseous catheter, which is a type of IV they put directly into the bone on her right lower leg. Her hands at the time of my external examination were covered by police evidence bags, and they were secured at the wrist with tape. When I removed those, the fingers showed no evidence of injury, and the fingernails were all of equal length and intact. And then I noted evidence of trauma of the neck with associated injuries of her head and minor injuries of her right arm and of her legs as well.
And in terms of the injuries that you observed, evidence of trauma to her neck, were there also injuries to her face and neck area that seemed to go along with the trauma to her neck?
Yes, there were findings of the head that were associated with the trauma of the neck.
And what were those?
So on her neck, she had a ligature furrow. A ligature is an object used to apply external force to the neck or compress the neck, and a furrow is simply the pattern of injury that develops underneath the site of compression. So for Cora, her ligature furrow consisted of a linear, horizontally oriented area of pallor or paleness around her neck with distinct superior and inferior edges. on the front part of her neck. The lower half of the ligature furrow was associated with additional red abrasions ranging from 1 to 2 millimeters in size. And on the back of her neck, the superior and inferior edges of the ligature furrow had developed some linear bruising as well.
And what do you mean by a furrow?
So again, the furrow a ligature is when you have external compression by an object on the neck, and a furrow is simply a pattern of injury that occurs beneath it. It can be an imprint, it could be a pattern, or it could be more developed types of injuries such as bruising or abrasions.
And what about injuries?
All right, counsel, we're going to take a break this time, all right?
All right. Jurors, close your notebooks. Place them on the chairs, please. This way, please.
We'll be recessed for a few minutes. I'm going to come back. We'll speak to counsel in regards to schedule. Okay.
Thank you.